So we're glad to see you all here today. My name is Ron Olson. I'm the Chief of Parks and Recreation for the state of Michigan DNR. And we have George Lowinger as a effervescent park supervisor at Bay City. Why don't you come over here, George? Sure. We want you to be in this thing. And this was a lot of conversation. The idea is to eventually to improve the accessibility to the beach and the area, to make Bay City recreation area even better destination for people, and to connect the water with the land, so to speak, where you have greater visibility. This is one way to do that, to create more accessibility, and so it's a good first step. It took a little while to get this going, and we have to thank. How many here are on the committee that's been working together, the task force? We have members here, and there's other folks that aren't here. They've been working real hard to try to work towards a plan, and then following that, we'll see a lot of changes made here once the funding comes through and all of that, so that we can make our place. With that, we, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have more opportunities for people to talk. We're going to go to the visitor center and go inside, so it's not so suffering for people to cope with the wind. Unfortunately, it's not yesterday, but as people say, just wait a little while and it'll change. So we will cut the ribbon, and then we'll go inside, and we're appreciative of everyone coming today. So, certainly have Senator Green standing here. We have the county executive here, Mr. Barsha, and we're appreciative of all the other people that are here that represent things. So,
may I introduce Missy Dabbert, who will be the first person officially across the boardwalk.
Come on up.
Is there a speed limit?
Go ahead.
As fast as she can go. Come on.
And we'll just get the big scissors. Where's the big scissors? He's got the big cutter there. We'll do a 1, 2, 3 and cut the ribbon, and everybody say hooray. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Hooray! And then now you get to have the first official.
Get out of my way, she says.
You can have the first official.
I have a loud voice, so I don't need an amplifier. Welcome to, again, I apologize that we switched things around, our meeting indoors, but as you all are painfully aware, it was somewhat chilly out there. So thank you for showing up for our grand opening ceremony for the brand new Coastal Boardwalk, purchased by your Recreation Passport dollars. Welcome you all here, and I'm just going to speak briefly before we turn it over to a series of speakers. This is related to another process we've been engaging with local community partnerships, specifically the county of Bay County, the Bay City, the Convention Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, and what is the fifth group? Drawing a blank. What's that? Maybe Friends of State Park? Yes, the Community Foundation, which, by the way, thank you very much, Anna. Which, by the way, just awarded us a $15,000 grant for yet another access amenity. We're going to put in a special access parking lot right over here that'll bring people half the distance to the beach from the current parking lot. So we're looking forward to that $15,000 grant as part of an overall project. But the task force has been meeting several times since September, and actually the task force was an outgrowth of a meeting that Senator Green sponsored back in September. And us, the 5 stakeholders that I just mentioned, were all there, and we agreed to form a community task force. and we've met about half a dozen times since then. And we've come up with a wonderful action plan, including this parking lot I was just talking about. And again, this is related to why we have a boardwalk. It's to bring more, better, easier access to the beach, as well as providing some simple amenities to the shoreline area to give people reasons for coming to our beach area other than just the traditional sunbathing and swimming. And so again, thank you all here, and I think I want to turn it over to Mr. Barsha. Would you like to present a few words? Come on up.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I want to say I have fond memories as a child and growing up in Bay County of spending quality time with my family and friends at the Bay City State Park. And we hope, George and Ron, with your help, and Keith Gray, who's very positive on it, that the Bay City State Recreation Area will return to its traditional namesake of Bay City State Park. That's what it was known as for decades, and was at one time the largest state park out of the 96 state parks at that time in Michigan. And we've lost some campsites, so we're no longer the largest. But I want to say I'll be brief because every one of you could take a lot of time to talk about your roles and your passion for recreation here in Bay County, and want to especially thank Ron, who I worked with for so many years during my 24 years in the Michigan legislature. When he joined the department, and I had a long history with his predecessors, Keith Wilson and others, for the strong support of the Department of Natural Resources. George, you've been a tremendous leader, and we've seen with your staff amazing progress recently. I want to say to my great friend Mike Green, who's done an outstanding job as our state senator representing Bay County, and you took over my old seat, so we had 4 other counties at one time. Now you only have 2 other counties, so a little less geography, but same population base. And Mike, we appreciate your attention to Bay County's needs and your frequent visits to the area and your strong support of what we've identified as goals to help Bay County help grow the economy, help make the Bay City State Park a destination for people in the region or who may be passing through, but also, most importantly, the residents of Bay County. I believe this is the only state public access for a beach in 130 miles of Saginaw Bay shoreline. So we're positioned geographically very well, and of course Rick Finn, our city manager of Bay City, has been a key leader, and of course one of my mentors, who's sitting there quietly, Ernie Krieger, who started Save Our Shorelines back in the early 90s, and when I was a member of Commerce, we worked together very closely at the federal level. And then after that, when I returned to the state senate on beach grooming legislation, but he and Commissioner Coonan, especially from Bay County government, along with Laura Ogar, who is out of state today, who wanted to be here, have had an absolute passion for the waterfront, not just in Bay County, but around the Saginaw Bay, but especially their passion for the Bay City State Park. And I hope, Nick Page is here from Bay County TV, and he'll be taking drone coverage of the Beach Wellness event on June 24th. So I hope those of you will turn into channel 190 on Charter or YouTube to see, if you can't make the Beach Wellness event, to see exactly all of the great activities that go into raising money to help with the state resources and other resources to make this state park as good as it can be. I don't want to go on too long. I've already spoken a little longer, but George and Ron briefly mentioned there are many other investments that will be made here, hopefully, as we move ahead. The Bay City State Park, the next big project, right, George, is the parking lot area, which will allow the public to get much closer to the beach. And Missy, who I've known also for probably 30 years, and she used to be gracious and have me on public television over at the Midland Library, wasn't it, Missy, on issues of accessibility for our people with special needs. And Missy, it's totally appropriate that you were the first official person to go out and enjoy the waterfront, the waves coming in today on this windy day, and to help us, help cut the ribbon and to get out, because many other residents will be able to get right out to the water without having to struggle if they have some, type of disability. So we want to thank you, Missy, for honoring us with your presence. Want to thank everybody, especially the staff, and I don't know all the names, but it has been something that we really began in earnest working on in 1994. But we have regulatory agencies like the EPA, the Corps of Engineers, and the DEQ that sometimes they have to follow regulations and rules and laws, and makes it difficult sometimes to accomplish our goals. But it's been a long time coming. A lot of people have donated thousands of hours to try to make this Bay City State Park better. And it is a great state park, but we want to make it even better. There are lots of projects that the group that George mentioned, the special group, which I happen to be a member of, but haven't had too many chances to attend, but yet because of my newness to the position. But look forward to working and focusing our energy on completing those proposed projects. Maybe even a dog park, and I mean lots and lots of things that are on the agenda of the organization, and we're committed to making this state park as good as it can be, and having it bolster our local economy, as well as having the people of Bay County have a resource that they can enjoy literally a few miles from home, a short distance, instead of having to travel a great distance to enjoy some, whether it's picnicking with their family or camping in the campground, or if we achieve our goal of a fishing pier, maybe being able to take a fishing pole out and catch a few fish. That's another project we've talked about and is on the agenda. So with that, I certainly didn't mean to take this long. I just want to, there's Joellen. I could name everybody who's here because I know all of you, but I want to thank Mike again, Senator Green, for his position in the Senate on the Appropriations Committee, on the DNR Subcommittee on Appropriations as well, as I was. And, we certainly appreciate all that Mike has done as our state senator in helping. And, of course, the leadership of Commissioner Krieger and our strong support from the Department of Natural Resources. And I have on all of my, I have 3 vehicles, and they all have those state recreational stamps. We voted for that. That was Patty Burkholz's bill, and I chaired the Hunting, Fishing, and Outdoor Recreation Committee, and work closely on a lot of issues that affect outdoor recreation. So, but by that simple $10 stamp, we create additional resources to make the kind of improvements to what is Michigan's truly a great asset, and that is our Great Lakes. 90% of the world's supply of fresh water right here surrounds the state of Michigan, and that's something that in the decades ahead is going to be more and more appreciated with climate change taking a toll on the environment. So with that, I want to thank you, George, for I said more words than I intended, but thank you for having me out. Thank you.